Hello, dear friends. When your country's flag is a sign of rebellion, it means your country is under foreign occupation, said Sono Francobollo. Opinion piece. Year of manifestation. Future is exciting. This timeline is safe. Acting with courage. Very turbulent times. Unexpected outcomes. Dicing pace of moment. The situation has changed. Not everything is as it seems. The year that ignites the world. Profound readjustment of power. Things may get worse before they get better. Let's start. The manifestation of events in visible reality is the main characteristics of the Chinese Year of the Fire Horse, which begins on February 17, 2026 and ends on February 5, 2027. It is the year that ignites the world, the year in which you can no longer stay where you are, according to Paul White Gold Eagle. We are in the midst of a paradigm shift, and the energy is accelerating rapidly. This signifies a time when things tend to move quickly, becoming visible and taking concrete form, both personally and collectively. It's not just a busy year, but a cycle in which decisions, desires, and tensions that have been brewing precipitate into events, changes, and shifts in direction. The horse represents the energy of movement, freedom, pure action, and an unavoidable destiny. But the fire horse is a rare presence, appearing only once every 60 years. It is the most explosive, the most radiant, and the most transformative of all the horses. It comes after the dragon in 2024 and the snake in 25, completing an energetic sequence that is almost impossible to fully experience in a single lifetime. The dragon represented superconsciousness, the snake a profound alchemy, and the horse the manifestation of reality, as we have said. This implies a global reset, a spiritual acceleration, a massive transformation, the release of old patterns, and the rapid manifestation of destiny. 2026 will be the year in which everything you processed over the previous 2 years explodes into light, because it's a fiery, long-distance horse, not a race horse that tires quickly. The horse represents action, progress, freedom, and the search for new horizons. It propels you to move, decide, and take the initiative. The fire element adds passion, intensity, visibility, and transformative power, enhancing the speed and impact of what you do or decide. Latent situations tend to materialize, accelerate, or come to light as if they were being unblocked. It's a favorable period for starting new things and making bold decisions, but also one with the risks of impulsiveness, extreme reactions, and unexpected outcomes. It encourages you to use the energy of progress and change to materialize goals aligned with your own path instead of being swept away by the whirlwind of the moment. The recommendation is to act with courage, but with awareness. Plenty of action, yes, but filtered through reflection so that what emerges is not chaos, but real progress. Opinion. According to Elisa Ayres, the situation has changed and we are witnessing the collapse of the dystopian nightmare of the Great Reset from Davos due to a slow and crushing loss of control. What we are seeing is a reorganization of power in the world that may seem drastic and aggressive, but I believe this change is happening for the good of humankind. I don't think this moment fits neatly into old patterns, because everything that is happening now is unprecedented. It is the end of an era and the beginning of a new one. Many nations find themselves in disparate conditions, economically drained, dominated, and socially fractured. How can we reverse this situation using the current structures? It's not achieved through idealism alone, not through emotional reactions. It's achieved through difficult and practical decisions. What truly poisoned this planet were the hidden power structures, the deep states, unelected and unaccountable, that suffocated nations from within. That was the real evil, but it is being eradicated, slowly, half-heartedly, but decisively. Healing is never pleasant. When the body heals, toxins are expelled, systems are readjusted, and things can get worse before they get better. The same is true in the world. We are in the midst of a profound realignment of power and how the players interact. I am not so concerned with the precise mechanics of how these players negotiate their position, as long as the outcome is cooperation rather than domination, stability rather than chaos, and a world where sovereign nations can thrive and not just survive. The future is exciting. The road to get there might be a little tough, but after the last 5 years, I think we are ready for anything. Venezuela. The Heritage Foundation reveals that Hugo Chavez worked with Nicolás Maduro to fund Black Lives Matter. Spain asks Delcy Rodriguez to release political prisoners in Venezuela. Maduro's downfall opens a window for Repsol to collect €2.48 billion debt. Operation. According to the Storm Rider, the intervention in Venezuela was planned at the highest level between US, Russia and China. Not everything is as it seems. The White Hats stole from the bad guys. Russia escorted several phantom flights that departed from Venezuela with thousands of tons of gold and silver. On these flights traveled Venezuelan officials, oil elites and their families. The hundreds of billions of dollars in silver were delivered to China through Russia. That money is intended to finance operations to break the CCP through a color revolution like the one taking place in Iran. These massive coalition operations aimed at restructuring the world are connected to the introduction of real disclosure and super advanced technology that will be secured by advanced telecommunications systems. The future proves the past. Interpretation. According to Ariel, the arrest of Nicolás Maduro on January 5th was not a local event. It was the surgical elimination of a critical node in a network that spent decades designing contingency branches derived from realities, where economic strangulation, resource wars, or biological crisis could be refined and deployed to restore human progress whenever sovereignty threatened the elite's control. These branches required physical points of influence. Regimes like Venezuela's, which channeled untraceable funds through cartels and state apparatuses, and maintained black budgets for quantum manipulation systems, whose off-the-books accounts were linked to technology derived from Montauk Project or experiments related to CERN. This funding artery is cut off with Maduro in prison, depriving the necessary infrastructure to sustain divergent superpositions of resources. The revelation of suppressed energy systems, non-human influences, or hidden financial structures doesn't come as a negotiated disclosure, but as unavoidable exposure in a continuum that no longer tolerates concealment. Greenland. Trump doesn't rule out using the military to control Greenland. According to Kavamur, the Pleiadians said in 2019 that Trump would acquire Greenland, because there are bases there where humans meet with the coalition of whales. A high-ranking official said that Trump is in contact with the coalition of whales, but they told him to wait before revealing it. Trump alluded to a high authority preventing him from revealing UFOs before humans are ready to receive them. Dan Farah claims that Trump almost revealed the existence of visitors from the stars during his first term. The Pleiadians asked Trump to wait before revealing the Galactic Federation, not to stop the disclosure. Report. In the early 2000s, the Pentagon commissioned a report that was a contingency plan for the collapse of civilization due to a cooling triggered by the breakdown of major ocean currents. The doctrine is simple. Whoever controls the gold controls the future, according to Mr. Poole. The attempt to buy Greenland was presented as a joke, but Greenland offers elevation, rare earth minerals, and Arctic positioning in a cooling world. Canada provides freshwater reserves, arable land, and continental continuity. In a geophysical crisis, the North is not a luxury, it is a sanctuary. The report also predicted that Europe would fracture under pressure, internal conflicts, energy collapse, waves of migration, and resource-driven wars. Years later, the pattern is visible. Germany's energy collapse and the conflict in Ukraine. The report linked to these changes in the magnetic poles. Today, the Earth's magnetic field is weakening, and the magnetic North Pole is accelerating towards Siberia. Canada and Greenland would be anchors on a post-collapse map. Europe. The German middle class is under siege in 2026. The Paris Summit seeks peace in Ukraine through NATO presence on the ground, but I don't think Russia would allow it. Trump wants NATO. No US, no alliance, in quotes. Denmark will ramp up deportations of criminal foreigners. The EU's carbon border tax comes into effect, and trading patterns aren't happy. The EU is eager to lead the world from a small office in Brussels. It's like a drunk hanging around a bar looking for a fight, according to T.L. Davis. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.